hope you're all doing well. Hope you've enjoyed some of the sun today. It's been absolutely glorious here, and yeah, it's been lovely. So this evening I'm going to make 2 cards, really simple cards, really easy cards, and I'm going to be using something that came out at the beginning of June, and Stampin' Up has created some kits, and these kits are fab. They are brilliant if you are new to crafting, if you don't have any card making supplies and want to have a go at it. They are absolutely fantastic to get you going. So I'm going to flip my camera so you can see what's on my table, and I will show you the kit, and then we'll get on to making the cards. Okay, so hopefully that's everything in view for you and that you can see my screen. It's relatively straight, the writing's the right way around, so we have a bit of success there. So creativity made easy, that's what the idea behind the Stampin' Up kits are, and what they're doing is the kits aren't in the catalogue because they're going to change them up during the year, so I'm guessing maybe that might mean them being seasonal, but once they've sold out they'll move on to another one. Now my favourite is this one, the Sentimental Roses, and I'm just going to give you a quick peek inside the kit. So it all comes lovely in a box, so these would be great gifts if somebody in your family likes crafting, or you think they'd be interested in making some cards, then this would make a lovely present because it comes all together in this box. Now there's 2 types of kits, one type that doesn't include a stamp and one type that does. So this is one of the ones that includes a stamp, and they're £18, and you get all of the supplies to make 9 cards, so 3 of each design. So in this set you make these 3 cards, and then you also make a box to go with it, to go put all of your cards in. So again, you could make this and then give the cards as a gift. That would be really lovely. So as I say, you get everything in there that you need, and these are the 3 cards, the 3 different card designs that you can make, and I think they're really pretty. So there's this one, and this one. Now I've put the sentiments on that they show on the instructions, but there's quite a few different sentiments in here. There's for you, Happy Mother's Day, thinking of you, happy birthday, congratulations, thank you, and best wishes. So you've got quite a nice selection of stamps there. So I'm going to take that bit out because I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to be using that, because what I'm going to be doing tonight is showing you some different cards that you can make. Once you've made all the cards up in your kit, you've still got the stamp, the ink and the block, and so I'm going to show you 2 other cards. These cards do come with instructions. They're really easy to follow, pictorial instructions, and they're nice and quick and simple cards to make. So we're going to be using the items that you will still have after you've finished making your kit. Now the first card that I'm going to make is a card that I made for a blog hop where we were looking at, or showing different uses for the kits after they'd finished being made, and I made this card, and that's the first one that we're going to make tonight. So let's get started. So in that example I used the Fresh Freesia from the new In Colours, and I used, as well as the Fresh Freesia ink and ribbon, I used some of the Designer Series paper that matches it. And these Designer Series papers are really nice. So they come in the 5 In Colours. So we've got Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Soft Succulent, Polished Pink and Pale Papaya, and they are double-sided, and there's 2 different designs, and you get 4 of each of those sheets, And those are really nice because they're just quite subtle patterns. Now tonight we're going to be using the Evening Evergreen. I have already cut it using one of the die sets. I've used the scallop die from the Scalloped Contours die set, which matches with the Colour and Contours stamp set, which I absolutely love. So I used a different edge die on this one, but for tonight's card I thought I'd use the bigger scallops. So I've already cut that piece of cardstock down, and I have cut that to 5 3/4 by 4 inches. I've got a C6 card base, which I'm just going to fold down, and I'm going to be attaching that onto there. So let's get that done first. Just with some liquid glue and sticking that down, and then I'm just going to put that to one side. I've got some of the In Colour ribbon, which I've just cut to small parts for, that we're going to use in a moment. Then I've cut also from the Colour and Contour die set, I've cut out the smallest, oh that's reflecting on my ring light, the smallest die there, which makes this lovely little rectangle with the little dots in it. And what we're going to do is we're going to stamp one of the sentiments from our set onto that. So let's just pop my stamping pad down, and what shall we do? Let's do congratulations. No, let's do best wishes, because that can be for send a best wishes card for quite a lot of different circumstances, can't you? So I'm just going to pop that down on my block, and I'm going to stamp it with the ink spot, the grey granite ink spot that comes with the kit, because I'm trying to use as few supplies as possible. So I'm just going to ink that up and pop it down . And there we have it. Oh, just clean that off and pop that to one side. Now comes the main part of our stamping. So I need the rose stamp. Now this rose is absolutely beautiful. It really is absolutely beautiful. It's you can see here you get a really realistic effect. It's not a flat stamp, it's not just an outline, it's really pretty stamp. So we are making our card in soft succulent, so I'm going to stamp in soft succulent. So grab my ink pad, let's pop that one away. And I have a piece of cardstock which I've cut down to 5.5 by 3.25, because I want it to sit on here with just a bit of a border at the top and the bottom, but I want to see those scallops. So I'm just going to grab myself some scrap paper in the front, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create almost my own designer series paper by stamping this flower. So I'm going to stamp up my flower, and then I'm going to place one kind of in the middle, and then I'm going to start working around it. So it's going to be portrait, so I want to think about the direction of my flower. And actually I'm not going to go right in the centre, I'm going to go over the edge a little bit. Push that down, and isn't that absolutely beautiful? That is so nice. I love this stamp. I just think it is so beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to come down here. then let's have another one. Let's twist it a little bit and put that one there. Then I'm going to come up and I'm going to turn it around and do a sideways one here. And then I'm going to do another one up here at the top. Just have one coming right in off the corner. And then let's have another one coming in off that corner. And there, we've now created a beautiful background, absolutely beautiful background, just using that one stamp and one ink pad. Now on the other card, on this one I did add some leaves to add a bit of variety of colour. I am going to do some leaves on this one, but I'm going to do them in the same colour. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp off so that I get a different shade, a different tone. So I'm going to ink it up, I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to add my leaf. So you can see that with just one ink colour, you don't have to have loads of colours, with just one ink colour you can create this variance in shade. Oh, I forgot to stamp off for that one. Remember to do it for this one. Okay, let's just see where we can get. I think I'll just have one popping out from here. And that's it. I don't think we need any more than that. So that's all our stamping completed for this card. Let's pop that out of the way. Apart from one more thing. Envelope. How lovely would it be to have one of these roses on our envelope? So let's back up and open the ink pad back up. Oh. Okay, let's ink that one up. I'm going to stamp off again, and then I'm just going to come in the corner of the envelope. And how lovely is that? Just adds a bit of something when you're sending your card through the post. If you've made the envelope look a bit pretty. Okay, right, let's see. So we've got our card base, we've attached that on. The next thing we're going to do now is glue on our main focal sheet. So just a little bit of liquid glue so that I've got a little bit of movement to make sure that I get it lined up straight. And there we are. That is really pretty, really pretty. So next I've got my best wishes, and I'm going to attach behind it some ribbon so that it's popping out. So I'm just going to grab my glue dots, and I'm just going to put a glue dot in the middle of that one and stick it down, and then a glue dot in the middle of this one, and just cross them over. Then for my sentiment strip, I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm just going to put 2 of those on there. Take the back off and pop that either side of my sentiment. Now let's just bling this up a little bit. So I've got some of the basic rhinestone basic jewels. Just find my poker tool, and let's go for a larger one, and I'm going to pop that there, and then let's go for one of the smaller ones there, and there, and there's our first card done. So what's that? Less than 15 minutes, and we've made a really very elegant looking, I think it looks really nice in this green actually. Green's not a colour that we perhaps think of when we're creating flowers, but I think that just, it's kind of girly without being really girly. Let me know what you think in the comments. Yep, oh, so Michaela's, hi Michaela, yes, I do think the soft succulent, it just looks lovely, doesn't it? It's just not a colour that you'd think of to do for a flower, but it just, with this stamp, I think it just works absolutely beautifully. So there's our first stamp. So let's just bring in so here's the one that I made before in the fresh freesia, and then the one that we've got here in our soft succulent, and they look really different. They look really different, but they're using the same basic principle, but just creating a completely different effect of card. So let's move those ones out of the way and get on to our second. I seem to have managed to make loads of mess already. I'm a messy crafter, I really am. I get ink everywhere and I get covered in ink. I end up with paper everywhere. Definitely a messy crafter. Right, so this second card, I'm using the same stamp. I'm still using this rose stamp from the kit, and this time I'm creating a triple layered card. Now I've had a go at doing two. This one I haven't put on a card base, it's just the back, but that's in the pale papaya, and I used the grey granite for the leaves because I didn't want to add another colour in, and I love the way that looks, and then it really pops when done in the polished pink. And I did add a little bit of sparkle on this one. I added a bit of Wink of Stella onto the leaves, and I think that's really pretty. Hello Karen, thank you, fantastic, so lovely to have you here watching me, thank you. Right, so let me show you how to do this triple layer card. Just grab all my bits and pieces out, and then this one you can do if you have, so the other one I used some dies, and obviously if I just bring it back, if you haven't got any dies, if you're new to crafting and you haven't got any dies, you could freehand cut this scallop or just do it straight, just have it as a rectangle, and again you could just have a rectangle for that one. So this one is just rectangles. You don't need any other supplies aside from your kit, except for some white and some black cardstock. So I have got 3 pieces in white and 3 pieces in black and a C6 basic card blank. I can put that away, I don't need that just yet. So my white pieces measure 5.5 by 3 3/3, 3.25 by 3.25, and 3.25 by 1 3/4. And then I've just gone up by 1/4 of an inch for the black ones, so they're 5 3/4 by 4, 3.5 by 3.5, and 3.5 by 2. So I'll just get that nice little border around each of them. So what we're going to do is going to put the black ones to one side for a moment, and I'm going to get my white ones. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of these two pieces. Then I'm going to just put them on my hand. I just want to make them so they're not very sticky. So just the oil from my hand is just going to take the stickiness off that. Then I'm going to place this one on, putting it kind of even across the top, bottom and left hand side. And then this one I'm going to come in kind of an even amount from the side and then overlap it a little bit and pop it down just to hold them in place while I'm stamping, because I want to stamp, let's turn that one over, I want to stamp them all at the same time. So this time I thought, let's go for a brighter yellow and one of my favourites, and that is Bumblebee. So let's go for it. So let's pop this rose back onto my stamp. Let's ink it up. Oh, there we are, look, on my fingers. I told you I'm a messy crafter. Okay, right, let's try again. I've got it on the other finger now. I really shouldn't be let loose with ink. Okay, now I'm going to stamp and I'm going to go off the edge again like I did on the other one. And let's pop the first one here. Now you do need to make sure you give it a good press down, because where it's going over more than one piece, there is a kind of, you can feel where there's a difference in the height. So let's just lift that up carefully, and there we are. And it will look a little bit weird to start with, but actually before I do any more, I'll do this one, and then I do actually want to just put my sentiment on before I get too carried away and not leave space for it. So it's just me getting too excited. Let's put that one. So I'm just going to pop this off and pop a sentiment on. So let's go for congratulations this time. Wow, Michaela, I can't believe I found a style of card that you've not done. Fantastic. Right, okay, so let's just, I'm going to pop it over at the bottom of this section. And there we are. Let's pop that on, because now I know where I'm going with the rest of my roses. So let's come back in with this one. And let's go over here and let's have one that goes over those two. Okay, and I've got my three, and I'm actually, let's just pop those back where they're supposed to be. Oh, I'd knocked that before I stamped that, hadn't I? And I hadn't realised. That's okay. That'll be fine once we've put the other one on. Now what I'm going to do is, I do want some more, but I want them lighter, so I'm going to stamp off. So I'm going to stamp off, and then let's get sure we've got these as they're supposed to be, and then I'm just going to come in and do one there, and one coming in here at the bottom. Okay, and that leaves me a little bit of space just to add a couple of leaves. So let's bring that leaf back in. Oh, I love it. Michaela's going to have a go at this tomorrow. Fantastic. Right, come back in with our grey. And again, I don't want it too dark, so I'm going to stamp it off. And then let's see, where should we put, let's put a leaf here, coming over onto that third one. That'll be really nice. I think I possibly took too much stickiness off my ink dots. I think it's the heat. I'm managing to get it to slide around quite a lot. And let's put another one here. And we'll go for one more. And we'll pop that, let's see, I'm going to pop that going off the top. here comes the magic. Here comes the magic. Let's move that out of the way. So now I'm just going to pull these apart, and it looks really weird. And you're probably thinking, what is she doing? Right, so I've got my largest piece of black, and I'm just going to get my liquid glue, and I'm going to glue that on here. Sure it's straight, and pop it down. And a square one. And pop that one down. And my little one. Let's pop that down with some glue. Okay, now to put it all together. So back with the liquid glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up. There we are. It's like putting a jigsaw puzzle back together. And then that one, you can't even see that I moved it. You can't even tell. Loving it. Right. Okay, now I think this is missing something, so I think it needs some bling. So let's get the rhinestones back out, especially because it's a congratulations card. It definitely needs a bit of bling on it. There. And there's just something aesthetic about them being in a diamond shape. And a bit of Wink of Stella. I can just go over the leaves just to add a little bit of sparkle. There. So if you didn't have any other colours of ink, if all you've got is that kit, then do your flower in grey. Do your flower in the grey granite. It will still look beautiful. It will look absolutely beautiful. But just having one other colour of ink, you can really make a beautiful card. So I'm just going to stick that on there now. Got yellow ink all over my hands. And there we are. And our card is done. And again, it's taken us less than 15 minutes. So there's the 3 different ones that I've done of that. And I think they're really effective for such a simple card. One other idea that I wanted to show you, I haven't made this into a card, I've only stamped it, but this is just using the leaf stamp. I stamped it, then I did a second stamp, and even a few third stamps to get it lighter. Stamped the happy birthday on a strip and stuck it across the middle, and actually that's quite a masculine card in that soft granite. So that's what I love about these kits. It's great value anyway, at £18 to make 9 cards, but then you've got the equipment and you've got so much more else that you can do. So let's just flip you back up. Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you everybody that has joined me this evening. I hope you've enjoyed watching me make these cards. I've really enjoyed playing around with this kit and having a go with it. If you would like to know more about this or any of the other products that I have used, then please do get in touch at sewsusiedesigns.com, or click the contact me and I'll get in touch, and I'm more than happy to go through any of it with you, help you look at the different kits that are available, because some of the other kits look really good as well. And having taken part in the blog hop and seen what some other demonstrators around the world have done with some of the other different kits, I know that they're all just equally as versatile as this one. So thank you very much, and please do join me again. I plan on going live again next Tuesday evening, so I shall see you in the same time, same place next week. Thank you. Bye.